Hey guys, and welcome to a new episode of my Master of PVM series. So I know it's been a long time since my last episode, which was actually like over a month ago, so I'm glad to return to it. And let me tell you guys, this episode is insane. It's ridiculous. I was super lucky, and it's going to be really enjoyable. Alright, to start off the episode, I went to Saradomin a fair bit, not as much as I did in episode 2, but I did go a little bit. And to kick things off really early on, I think around 1600 kills, I got a Murmur. So at the time, it was about a mil. I think they're pretty close to that still. I think they're like about 800k or something like that. So, pretty decent drop on top of, the regular loot. And then about 90 kills later, I got another Murmur. So that was kind of cool. 2 Murmurs right away. But I was super lucky in the previous, 1600 kills in episode 2. So I wasn't really caring what I got. I was just really hoping to get the pet. And my whole plan was to get to 2,000 kills for the second threshold, and then after that I would go to hard mode and then go for the pet. Because on hard mode you have like a 5 times better chance of getting the pet, but it really didn't matter because almost 200 kills later from my Murmur, I actually got the pet drop. It was on stream, and it was probably like, I want to say less than a week ago. I was in the middle of a conversation and I was talking to the chat, and then all of a sudden I see that huge beam and I start going crazy. And now I really don't have to do the hard mode until I have to do 100 for the insane final boss requirement. So yeah, that was awesome. That is 1 pet down, and now I don't have to worry about Saradomin for a while. And it was actually kind of cool. Right after that kill, the very next kill, because I was still in shock, I didn't want to leave. So I kept on getting a few more kills, and I actually got 90 million HP as well. So that was a hell of a trip, guys. So coming off of that great luck, let's kind of turn it down a bit, and now we are at Rise of the Six. So I did not do this in my last episode of Master of PVM, and I have been really slacking on the Road to All Shield series that I used to have. So what I plan on doing is just dissolving that little mini-series into this series, so you guys don't get like double content of the exact same thing. So whenever I get Rot's Progress, it'll just be in this series. For this so far, I've only done about 50 something Rots, so not too much progress, but I feel I got really lucky, and I want to share that luck with you guys. So to kick things off, I think like 4 kills since I started the 50 kills or whatever, I actually got a Vengeful. So at first I was really happy, but then I was kind of sad because it's another duplicate, and I really need that Malevolent to be done. But, regardless, I'm doing 500 Rots kills for a loot video, so if I get the shield now or 100 kills from now, it really doesn't make a difference because I still have to reach 500 kills in the end. So I'm not really worrying, but, again, that's like my 5th shield already in just like 250 kills at the time, so I'm really lucky there, guys. And actually, only like 10 or 15 more chests later, I got another Vengeful, so that's my 4th in the series, and that is my 6th total shield. So again, I'm super lucky here. I'm not even complaining. I just really hope I can get that Malevolent here soon. And yeah, Rots is really good money. The only problem is the energies have gone down significantly since the start of the series, so I haven't made as much profit as I used to here. But again, it's still really good money, and I do enjoy Rots. It's just I never find the time to do it, nor have the patience of finding a team. But moving on to the awesome boss Araxxor. If you remember my first episode, I got decently lucky. I think I made like 200 mil profit in like 128 kills, which that right there is pretty good. It's just I was really hoping for that leg piece, and I was extremely dry on a leg, so I kind of wanted to break that. And in this episode, I went so long without a leg drop that it was kind of ridiculous, but oh my god, my luck really did change. So about like 20 kills after I started this episode of Araxxor kills, I ended up getting the pet. So if you guys know the initial pet that you get Araxxor, the base drop rate is 1 in 1,000, so that's really rare if you think about it, but it slightly goes down from your enrage. So if you have like really high enrage, it might go down to like 1 in 950, and you also have the option to gamble your loot to have a twice as better chance of getting the pet. So I never gambled my loot ever because I wanted to keep the loot for the loot video that I'm working on here. So me getting the pet at like 147 kills is ridiculous. I don't know how I'm so lucky in this episode. Like, I've gotten 2 pets so far, and mind you, this Araxxor pet was actually before the Sarah pet. This was almost like 3 weeks ago. I just want to make this after the earlier stuff because I feel like it's more interesting. And of course, there's the extra 5 skins that you can get. They're not necessarily extra pets, they're just more skins. So I did all of those within like 2 or 3 more kills. So now I have a real chance of getting the egg drops, which are affected by thresholds of how many kills you have, and the threshold is 200. So I'm past 1 threshold now, and I'm just really hoping on getting those 2 egg drops, and I'll be done with the pets here. And lo and behold, on kill 206, so mind you, my last leg piece was at kill number 1 of this series. I got an eye and a leg, guys, an eye and a leg. I have never seen that before, getting 2 really rare drops in 1 drop. So this made me complete my leg, and I could make a knock staff out of it because I had an eye. So you don't even understand how much I was screaming at that drop. It was awesome. And I sold that knock staff for about 184 mil profit, and now I am all good with Araxxor. I am actually beyond lucky, and I feel like I'm never going to complain here again. So if I did sound like I'm complaining earlier, it's just because at the time it was just so bad how dry I was on a leg, and I just wanted to finish it. But here we are, we're done. And then just 2 kills later, I was really going hard on range, and I got my personal record of 6:16, which I feel like is pretty fast with range, and I'm pretty proud of it. And in that kill, I actually got a pheromone, so that was pretty cool as well. So as you guys can see, this episode is pretty crazy, and like I said, it's the best episode of this series so far. So if you're not already unconscious from all of these pet drops and the eye and the leg drop, let's move on to my slides and see where I am in terms of progress. So first up, we talked about Saradomin, and I ended up at 1896 kills, not even 2,000, so I'm pretty happy I'm done with that, because there's a lot of people I know that, you know, go 4,000 or 5,000 kills and never get the pet. But as you can see also with the drops, I got pretty lucky on the crossbows and the amulets. Didn't really get super lucky on the hilts, but that's alright. I'm done with Saradomin. I really don't want to think about it anymore. And next we went to Rise of the Six, which I'm at exactly 300 chests with 433 energy. And again, the energy is really low right now. It's like 130k, and when I was originally doing the series, is like 200, even 230k per energy. So it's kind of lame that they're not that expensive anymore, but still, Rouse is very profitable. And finally, here's Araxxor with 209 kills, and we have every single drop except the Fang, which I'm happy about because the Fang sucks and it's literally no profit. But we have 1 full leg, as you can see, and we have 2 eyes and 1 web. So I feel like I'm pretty lucky on the hilts, as you can call them. But for leg pieces, I'm a little bit worse than the drop rate, but it's all fine how much money I've made here, including getting the first pet as well. So I don't really have to worry about the pet anymore. I'm just going to have to keep on doing Araxxor until I get better thresholds. So on to the pet slide. If you guys remember, this is super blank in the last episode, and now I can actually color the Saradomin one and 6 out of 8 of the Araxxor ones. So there's 34 total pets. Right now I have 7 out of 34. And that is pretty awesome. It's 32 if you don't count the Virago ones because they're super rare and stuff. All around, I feel like I'm pretty good right now. And hopefully I can maybe start up the DKs and other God Wars ones, because they're a lot, you know, easier than the other boss pets. I feel like they're just a lot more time. And finally, here are the stats of the series so far. So I only added about 24 hours, but I got super lucky. I felt like it was enough progress. And yeah, it's just going to be really cool to see where these numbers stack up at the end. So that was that for this episode. Let's go into the actual price checks and see how much money I have made so far. And here it is. So right away, as you can see as the cash stack, nearly 400 mil. A lot of it is coming from the Araxxor items that I've sold. Like I have about 300 mil from Araxxor from selling, you know, my stabs and everything like that. And then about 60 something mil from her Virago splits, and then everything else is from like the God Wars. So that is a huge portion of the tab so far. And then of course there's all this energy and a lot of Onyx bolts. It's gonna really be nice to see how much like Onyx bolts I have, how many Onyxes, how many scales, how many rune ore, how many of these like huge money items that I'll have at the end of the series. Like I feel like this series could easily be a few bill, and like the tab is just gonna be ridiculous. And here are the rare items, and I am missing some next items and some of my Drygors. And if you didn't see my last video, I did sell those temporarily for Seismics, so I can use Seismics to do better at Nex and possibly get into Virago a lot more. So that's that. They're still part of my series, and I still am counting them as a tab, of course. but I will probably rebuy them whenever I get enough expendable money from like Araxxor or Virago. So they will be back in here eventually, but again, it's pretty nice so far. I got like 5 pheromones, got all the shields, and all the other items that I've gotten from like Saradomin. So what have I made in this episode in terms of loot? So first, at Saradomin, I only made 3 mil profit in this entire episode, and the reason why it's so low and it's not like I made any money is because what I did was I took the price check that I had last episode, or last time I price checked it, and price checked it now with all the new loot. If items drop a lot, I would be, losing money. So, in this episode with a few hundred kills, I probably did get like 10 to 15 mil in loot, but collectively all of my items from Saradomin did drop a lot, so I only profited 3 mil since the last time I price checked. And speaking of that, at Rots, I actually lost 7 mil in my price check. The energies really crashed, and that's really the main reason. Even though I did get 50-something kills this episode, I just couldn't make more money than I lost on falling prices. So I did lose 7 mil, but that's fine, because right here, I made 258 mil from Araxxor, and that's with falling prices. So my current tab for Araxxor is like 460 mil, and I'm not even close to being done. I have 200 something kills, and I plan on probably even going to 1,000. If you add all of that together, this episode alone, I made a profit of 254 mil with prices falling. So I feel like that's pretty good. In just 24 hours, I made 250 mil. So that's 10 mil an hour. Granted, a lot of it is because I was super lucky at Araxxor, but so with that 254 mil profit, if we add that to the previous profit total in last episode, that puts us up to 892 mil in this series so far. And we're definitely going to hit 1 billion next episode in just 5 episodes. So I imagine this series could probably take well over 20 episodes with how rare these pets can be. So just imagine how much money I can make. So hope you guys are enjoying this series so far. I definitely am. So remember to drop some feedback on the series so far, and drop a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good day.